team to have a straight losses out there and one team a little bit on the board. But we're going to go into the Champions Select right now and we're going to see AHQ versus MLE. The bans have already begun. We already see a Lee Sin ban coming up very quickly, as well as a Shen ban coming out.
Yes.
Pretty standard bans, I would say. Nothing too particular, nothing too targeted. But as you see, the next one coming out, Evelyn as well. Evelyn is not really all that favorite these days in Season 3, I would say, compared to, for instance, Kha'Zix, Elise, and things of that nature. But her roaming power is very, very strong.
It's more like a replacement factor, so to speak, I suppose. Like, Evelyn is the better Diana right now, so to speak. Being Diana.
Evelyn's the new Diana, is that it?
I mean, Diana was one of my more favorite picks because of her overall range and the burst ability with her AP ratios being much higher in the beginning. But now because they have switched out, that Evelyn now is much more playable. Not just in terms of assassinating people, the overall burst is still there, even though it's been reduced. Most importantly, when the ultimate lands from Evelyn, actually the ultimate is not the main damage output, but it's actually the hate spikes when people charge it that does the most of the damage, I would have to say. When every time the fight goes in, after the slow goes in, the hate spikes does a lot of damage. But actually we can see the Nidalee being banned off for some MLE as well as Kha'Zix. I was waiting to see when Kha'Zix would be banned, and it was also at the south we have Zed being
I mean, Zed is one of the very strong losers these days we see out there. His shadow causes a lot of disruption, as well as due to the League of Warmogs, that's how we are calling it right now. He's definitely very, very strong. Just one single Warmog put on Zed, and he's basically impossible to take down, simply not because of his escape mechanisms, but also because of his additional, health bar he has out there. Not forgetting that he runs on energy, so he doesn't need to waste any mana or any additional pots out there. He just needs to wait, recharge his energy, and once again he can be super, super aggressive on top. I do like the Javan pickup there coming from the side.
Javan being a counter pick to Olaf in a certain sense, because right now all Olafs, they will not take flash, they'll take Ghost, definitely. As well as, even though if you're top lane or jungle, Ghost is the skill to go for Olaf because it's the best way to use a Ragnarok ultimate ability to charge into team fights as well as chasing down the carries of the team. If you take flash, you might flash into range for just one hit of your reckless swing, but if your X misses, Undertow misses, there's not going to be.
That's the thing. Undertow is a huge, very big question mark here, which many Olaf players can't actually deal with, for the fact that it's very punishable. If you miss one Undertow, your team can't catch up, you can't catch up, and one kill just slips away from there. But I do like the fact that Elise as well is being picked up there, so the Cocoon is going to be very, very damaging. We saw yesterday KL Hunters, Tainted Ones, doing an amazing job with Elise. Now, whether this is actually going to happen for the side of AHQ is going to be, what needs to be answered. But then again, Twisted Fate as well being picked up there. I do like the fact that Twisted Fate's being picked up. The global presence is very, very strong.
But right now, what is being pondered upon for the side of MLE is where exactly is Alice going to go? Because both Olaf and Alice excel very well in the jungle in the early stages. Definitely, the clearing speed for both champions is very fast.
I would say Olaf should go into the jungle and Elise should actually remain on the top lane. I would say Elise would stand a better chance against Javan. But then again, there is a Jace pick up there as well. So, wow, okay. Throws in a little bit of a wrench here.
I mean, well, as you mentioned, Jace will excel well against Alice or even Olaf because he does have the ability to range as well as melee mode. So it'll be interesting to see how well AHQ responds to this. Is there going to be a lane swap and then Alice will be at bottom? She might start off with Divine Shield just so she'll be able to sustain and farm the lane without any problems. But here we see the side of the AD carry after MLE has picked up Ezreal. It might be going to be a kill lane or it's changed right there. It might be.
I would have preferred lanes actually. Severe Taric, interesting.
Severe Taric is
like
actually
the fact
much
that Spell Shield. Spell is going to play a big factor, I would say, compared to Javan with Katarina there and Jace at the same time.
Not really, in my opinion. It depends on what the support is being picked up right now. What spell is
Sona's going to be picked up there. I'm quite certain.
I don't think it's going to be Sona. I think most probably Lulu.
Lulu, you think?
Lulu
with Ezreal? Well, we shall see who actually gets it right, or we both of us getting completely wrong.
Lulu or Blitzcrank maybe, but I think higher percentage Lulu should be a better pick overall. Because we can see that
actually, that could be a possible pick as well.
Because you see, Jace has the ability to charge in, Katarina will be charging in as well, and so will Jarvan. The Lulu ultimate slow overall and keeping the person alive.
Definitely the wild growth is going to play a lot of factors
Actually,
there. Oh, it's going to be a Zyra. Oh, I'm not so sure about Zyra, to be
Zyra
honest.
does do the same thing as well in terms of overall crowd control, but whether she is the best pick
I don't quite think so, to be very honest.
Because a severe spell shield will counter the bind.
Exactly.
Right? That's what you're thinking. Especially if Taric does stun onto her and one boomerang.
That would be 3/4 life instantaneously gone. So, I don't think so that Zyra support pick was all that well, especially for the fact that they do have Elise as well. So, even if Zyra does throw down her ulti, Elise can just repel away from it. So, I don't know about that. I mean, we do have the, Ragnarok coming in from Olaf at the same time, so being able to dodge and I wouldn't say dodge, I mean to rampage through
run through everything, yes. Definitely.
Yeah, as well as Twisted who will be able to pot away from things. I would have honestly preferred a more sustained damage, like I would say Sonar or Blitzcrank perhaps.
But maybe because a lane swap might happen. This is one of the things. I mean,
okay, let's sustain a lane swap.
It's more likely for HQ to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Than for
MLE.
Yeah. Definitely, because overall the lineup, at least can perform well with the fighting against, I suppose, Ezreal as well as Zyra. Just needs to position herself well to miss the dodge all the skill shots, and when it reaches the tower, she's able to use the spells and slowly farm or the minions at the same time. Use the spell to farm the minions as people are pushing in. And if they do let Sivir and Terry go top against a Jace, in the early stages, if a gang does come from Olaf, they can instantly kill him very easily.
Yes, that is a very big factor here.
Spells the Undertow is like instantly more than half health right there, or full combination. So it's be interesting to see if HQ does take this opportunity to do that. But of course, if they do stay to the original lanes, they will be fine as well.
I would say the upper hand here actually is for AHQ, and it's a little bit of an upscale battle, and an uphill battle, upscale and uphill for MLE actually to make sure they actually perform. Two things that needs to happen for MLE in order for them to win is that Jarvan needs to get tanky very, very quickly.
Yes.
He needs to be the frontliner that just doesn't die and causes disruption everywhere.
We see everything for yesterday is all about Warmogs. The first item will be a Warmog.
That's the thing. If he gets a Warmog first, or if he decides to go for Spirit Stones, that's the other, toss up here. And the second thing that needs to go well for MLE is that they need to protect the Katarina's Death Lotus. If anybody is able to stop Katarina, that's it. That's main source of damage instantaneously gone. I don't think so Jace will play such an important role this game simply because there are a lot of different stunts that could come out and stop Jace out, which is Elise, which is Twisted Fate's gold cards and stun coming out there. So I do believe Jace would be one of the frontliners trying to absorb all the stuns before Katarina moves in.
No, I would say what MLE should have in plan is more of like they have two poking champions. If you add in Zyra a slightly poking champion as well. The plants do land on its side poke.
That's true.
But if in terms of just overall just poking, Jace Ezreal excels very well. And once they poke someone to, or maybe two of the opponent champions to maybe slightly closer to half health, it will be a timing for them to dive in already. Jarvan can dive in, the Cataclysm, Zyra's ultimate comes out, and Katarina just needs for the knockup to happen and she just goes in and spin to win right there. Very easily for her to pick up all the kills, get a quick refresh with burst from Jace coming up, follow-up damage as well as Ezreal ultimate. That's a perfect scenario.
A lot of things need to happen perfectly in sequence well just for that to happen.
And MLE is picking those,
that will actually happen.
MLE is picking a lot on those high super combination plays to be happening.
Yeah. But how often do we actually see that happening?
Especially in the laning phase for last game as well. They lost out quite a bit, so it didn't really transition how they really wanted.
It is nicely saying it. What do you think of the teleport pick as a summoner spell by Katarina?
It does help out a lot in the early stages. At least it's squishy. Sivir is also squishy as well. So in terms of helping out the ganks happen, if Twisted Fate does come in, Katarina can follow up very easily, and it might be a turnaround.
The whole Destiny and Teleport, is that a counterpick to each other?
Yes, definitely. It's not counterpick to each other. It's a Katarina trying to perform better against the Twisted Fate. If we saw that happen for the side of Saigon Jokers as well. Yesterday when QTV took kill, he went to the mid lane. He instantly just took up Teleport as well.
Yep.
But he did not need to use it because he knew that Twisted Fate or they're going to gang happen. He was always in the positions when things were happening. In the whole game, he didn't really get to use it because they're always being pressured to fall back.
Yeah.
There was no perfect opportunity for him to teleport in to save someone and to counter back the fight and bring it to the win. But for the side of Katarina, if someone takes the stance for her, like Twisted Fate and Tarek, like initiate first, she comes in later, she just throw out all our spells, and it will become their favor in terms of countering the opponent's gang from there.
So okay, for everybody out there who doesn't have all our back knowledge as you have, now let's throw up the very difference here. Is it better to take teleport and teleport wherever Twist of Fate gates to? Or is it actually wiser to stay in lane and to push the turret down or to get the several creeps from there?
Let's wait on the champion to be more specific.
Okay, in this case,
in
Katarina and Twisted Fate.
Okay, Katarina, clear minions quickly, no problem. So as long as if Twisted Fate tries to push the lane and go somewhere else, Katarina just needs to throw a dagger and then use a second blade save, whatever that's called. I can't remember right now. The spinny thing. Another spinning blades. Wait, is this spinning blades?
We'll find out soon enough. But okay,
Yes.
so I mean,
So
which
she can kill the
is
minions very
more
quickly
worth
as
it
well.
then?
It's more worth it if when you teleport in, definitely you'll be able to get the kill. But let's go into the game right now and see what's happening before I continue talking about that.
AHQ. Yep, it's going to be AHQ versus MLE blue versus on the red / purple side in case you're colorblind.
Is it colorblind really? Anyway, so definitely from here, as you mentioned, Katarina clear minion waves very quickly as well. So she might be able to clear the minion waves and then only decide to teleport down instantly, very easy. For Katarina, you might want to down tower as fast as possible, but more importantly, you actually want to snowball the kills. And here we see a ward being planted out very quickly, and the binds does go down, spotting out AHQ 3 members right there. They want to go in for the engage, wanted to counter jungle for the side of their area because they do have a slightly stronger early game if everything does go out well for the stuns and then the undertow. But now they're still regrouping, just hiding. So Java is going to do a flag toss right there, and he's going to yes, there it goes. It's actually called the Martian standard, but everyone just calls it a flag toss because it is a flag being tossed right there, so to speak. Even though it's a blade, blade plus flag thing.
It's called Sinister Blades. People in the chat are doing an amazing job of catching up with us.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, it's with all the addition of the new champions and things like that, I've been getting a bit slow. I've been memorizing more over on all the items do. And now catching up all the season 3 items, so do forgive us for any mispronunciation / unforgiving or forgetting knowledge, I suppose. I'm not sure how to place that, but okay.
No worries there. But going back more importantly into the game, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty safe starting on both sides there. Look, everybody's dancing around the Brave Camp, so it's going to be starting pretty interesting though that Severe and Tarek's going to be actually taking up the little Raves. So okay.
Actually makes sense. Because right now for junglers, they take both blue and red. They ignore the Wraith. So the Wraith will respawn
because they are able to start the ganking immediately once they do have the double buffs being taken.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that we take the Wraith first instead of double golem, but it's a good thing at the same time. They share the EXP and there's not so much damage being taken onto them. Like if Severe and Tarek went to do the double golems, they'll take out much more damage overall. But if they went for the Wraiths in the beginning does not do so much damage, and they go back to lane more healthy, so to speak.
So, and we do see here immediately the stun coming out there, Ron going exhausted at the same time, first blood coming out there, very good job. This is exactly what we're talking about there, one single stun and immediately goes down Zar, very very low at the same time. Mr. Albus, I'm guessing just waiting for his cooldown so that Severe can come up with another boomerang. If that boomerang lands, that will be the end of Ezreal at the same time. So very good instance of aggression right here, perfectly picking up that spell shield so that her mana is regenerated, recuperated, whatever you want to call it.
But that's actually we were talking about. One thing bad about Boomerang Blade in terms of laning is that if you use it to farm and then only to poke onto the champions, there's reduction of damage done by percentage, I believe, per minion it hits. So just now, as a support, if you're going to hide in the brush and Terry just comes in to stun you, when you take the Boomerang Blade, you take the full damage output of it, and it is just devastating to take for early game squishy support champion, and there you go, we saw Zara being picked off and taken down so easily, instantly.
Now also the other thing that's actually happening here is two factors. That one, Katarina is doing an okay job versus Twisted Fate, that we would actually normally see be able to shove the lanes a little bit earlier due to the wildcards. Now as well as the bottom lane, we do see that Green Tea is doing, I would say, a more aggressive thing of being able to step on the plants so that the plants get negated, simply because at Zara at low levels, the cooldown for her little plants or little shrub seeds take a while.
But yeah, as you were mentioning, she cannot be too aggressive with the plants right now. because she just died. And she knows that if she goes in too closely, Tarek is able to land a free start, she's going down. But here we see Peter Panda going very aggressively, but unable to hit on to Twisted Fate Artie, and the trade just goes on and he ends up in the favor of Twisted Fate. Here we might see a gang happening for the side of the bottom lane. Ola moving in position, but Nob just going to go for a great buff, and Javan, seemingly knowing he was spotted by a wall, just going to fall back. And here we can see that Price is being pushed back by Jace, which is quite normal, so to speak, because Jace does have the advantage of skills, and as well as he will be a bit clearing over the minion waves very quickly. But we can see the overall in the CS is actually in the favor of Alice, because I think Alice has been being too aggressive. Jace has been too aggressive, trying to poke Alice away instead of focusing on the farm. And here we see there's actually a 10 CS difference overall. And Alice is just so healthy right there with the flasks, with the pots, and just healing up very quickly.
We do see Lil Panda trying to make something happen here. I don't think so. She should be shampooing very, very close to Twisted Fate. I think you're just asking for trouble every single time you do that. What's for me the most interesting thing is that the severe combination with Tarek is doing very, very well at the bottom lane there. In fact, Olaf does not even need to make any sort of presence there. They are able to shove them all away. Once again, the stun is coming out. Boomerang Blade doesn't actually connect perfectly on there. Ron trying to make something happen. The teleport does come in, so Katarina will be coming at the bottom there. We are seeing the exhaust coming out there. Green Tea healed himself, will be able to survive just a little bit longer until Katarina does take him down. No, sorry, Ezreal does take him down. Olaf is coming in now. Unfortunately, not being able to do very much.
But here we see the MLB comes in for the kill, but the problem is now, as you mentioned, when you teleport away, the minion is going to be pushed down very quickly. And Twisted Fate does do a quite good job because of his pick a card's ability, doing the blue card, hitting onto the tower, shipping out health very quickly. But it is a good start, so to speak, I would have to say, with the first bird taking down for the side of Zyra being taken early stage for AHQ, and now a comeback from Elmi. Even those 4 members, the assist goal is going to help them overall in the lane a bit more. But right now, the main factor and the main thing that's happening right now is Jace able to beat out Elise early game. And we can see right now, Elise is the one putting out so much pressure with almost 20 CS lead already. How is Jace Kapachu going to come back from this? And here we see Twisted Fate coming for the gang. He didn't even need to use his ultimate, he just walked in, and there it goes. They're going to dive in already, and here the reptile is going to come out soon, therefore just negating tower damage. That is one thing that is so great about Elise. When you do a tower dive, you can tank the tower hits as much as you want. Just make sure that about quarter health, if the ignite's on you, just repel, and you're going to be safe. No problem at all. So here we're going to see Twisted Fate actually going to stay a bit longer on top. They might want to try to force this down. Nope, they're actually going to move back. Here we see Ron with the ward does spot them out, does plan to try to stop them from going back to buy items. So overall, the bottom lane is very heavily in the favor of Severe, because even though they did dive and killed Tarek, they used up a lot of summoners and at the same time used up a lot of spells. A lot of health just dive in. So Severe didn't really have to be afraid of Zyra after that or Ezreal. She just stayed in the lane to farm a bit more, and you can see she just waited to farm out for enough money for the BF sword right there. I think it's good when you have BF sword.
I mean, the BF sword is definitely going to make a Boomerang Blade all that much more devastating. We already did see that happening in the earlier levels. However, now with the BF sword, it's going to be even more so. I do like the fact that Sheen was immediately being picked up by Twisted Fate there, so he is going to be doing even more damage now, simply when he does able to do his card combinations. I'm not sure what Ron is trying to do here. The Oak Plant actually does manage to get birthed from...
Because there's a timing delay, so to speak. When the seed is planted, you cannot instantly kill it. So that's why when Tarek walked over, it did not die off so quickly.
Now, the other thing also to be focusing on the game here is the fact that on the side of AHQ, they do have quite a number of Vision wards being bought. So they are trying to deny Vision at the very same time as give Vision to their team, which is working for them. I don't like the fact that Javan actually has claws up.
I mean, it will help him clear up the jungle much quickly, so to speak. They are a bit behind overall in the CS and in the farm, so for him to gank better, he needs to get a higher level faster, and with the claw up, he'll be able to clear jungle minion camps much faster with his abilities, because he has a lot of attack speed, but still, he doesn't have enough damage to take down things too very quickly. So a lot of Javans, either they go for a lot of phenomenal ganks, especially the lane is doing well. The lane is doing moderate, it's a tie, it's easy for him to gank, definitely. But when the lane is losing, the jungler, for Javan to make something happen, it's going to be very hard. Because overall, he is just going to be tanky when he dives in and do the percentage first hit damage, which is very painful. But what is the follow-up if the knockup misses and he doesn't have his cataclysm up and ready?
I mean, that's the thing. They also think to go up there, aside all the combinations, what you were talking about before, is the fact that Severe is 20 CS ahead now. Yeah.
And for the top side, we do see it.
Oh,
Here,
the sun is coming out. Oh, look at that damage. That was either beautifully done or epically disgusting. Oh, like there's either two ways you could describe it, and that's one of it. Oh, we do see the teleport coming up there, and once again Kapachu trying to make something happen, but no. Bye.
that was actually Artif's fault, I would have to say.
He should have just, like, the positioning was a little bit off.
Positioning. He threw his yellow card onto the minion, if you didn't notice.
Yes, it did actually stun him. That's why he was able to reach onto him. But it's okay. Little errors, nothing too damaging, nothing too punishable.
Yeah, they have the advantage, the shield, and look at least going with Philosopher's Stone and a giant belt. Who needs penetration? Who needs whatever? You just need regeneration and health. And there, I believe it's either going to be a Warmox definitely for first item at least. I mean, it's not a typical first item, but it's definitely going to allow her to bully away Jace. And as well as Jungle comes and gang and stay alive.
Sure. That is for sure. It looks like this is the League of Spiders. I would say the League of Insects with Kha'Zix and Cocoon is actually being done on a little panda is very low. The flag toss actually does come out there. Pride tries to make something happen. Cataclysm does come out. He is forced to flash away simply because Repel wasn't perfectly up in time.
Repel was up, but there was nowhere to jump to, so to speak. I mean, he could jump into the same location, but he would be
look at that Ron once again being taken down. Look at that combination. Green Tea actually does use the heal out there to make sure that he's perfectly safe.
There was double heal right there.
Actually for Severe.
Yes, heal from himself as well as Derek. Oh, sorry, from Derek and Severe. Oh, you're confusing me. Yeah, but here, this is such a strong combination of bot lane. It is such a strong killing. It's actually much stronger than Graves, in my opinion, because for the buckshot to happen, Graves needs to be go medium.
Very close distance. Yes. But for Severe, actually, as long as you're within the boomerang blade half, it is perfectly fine.
Yes. It's such a different advantage. But here you can see, well, first item on to Twisted Fate already being leashed, being bought up with 1 kill, 1 assist, and 93 CS.
I mean, that's very strong for like a 10-minute buy. You get a Lich Bane, that's really good. They are, they have captured Dragon, which is another good thing up there. Price is going on town to the top lane. Jace is catching up just by a little bit. But what's happening here is that the itemization is going hugely into Alice's favor with the Giant's Bell and the Ruby Crystal being bought already. And for the side of Jace, we don't really see much of anything. We have a little bit of health, a little bit of damage, a little bit of mobility, and some sustain. A long ways from anything.
Let's just put it this way. You fight a top lane that's going to buy a Black Cleaver, you're going to choose a champion that can buy a Warbox now. That's how it's being played right now. That's how people play around the Black Cleavers. And because if you choose a champion, okay, here we see Ron trying to do something onto Green Sea, but it's going to be, look at the tankiness of Taric. It's like,
Taric is taking the once again, Kapachu on top, Women getting caught. At the same time, the Cocoon did a good job. The stun will bring him down on the other end. Oh my, what is happening on top? I think the synergy of the top lane and the mid lane is really good. At the same time, the bottom lane, just synergy together is as well very good. The timing of what they're doing for each other. This stun into boomerang into the possible exhaust whenever exhaust is partially up, they do have it ready. And at the very same time, in case anything does go wrong, they do have the Severe heal as well.
And look at Severe, just getting Infinity Age instantly. Normally people have Bloodthirster, because she's such... She's such
a dominating position. She is so well fed from all the lanes that it's 2 kills already just for her with 116 CS. So that's 30 CS on top of what Elturel has, which is a huge thing. Green Tea now taking a little bit of poke, but look at this, he's under the tower and still trying to make something happen there. We do see that he does go down on total there. Lil Panda trying to make something happen at the same time, does bring it down. Good job, Jed. That's what exactly Manila Eagles needed and wanted to do.
But the
power is safe, but the mid turret now is in question. Katarina is making herself all the way back, but will she actually be back in time to stop it? Elise is coming up. Cocoon actually does land. Look at the amount of coordination. Lil Panda does jump away to her creeps and it'll be perfectly safe, but the tower goes down as well.
I think Price wanted to play a bit safe. He could have repelled into position onto Katarina, but he chose not to because he's not sure whether Jarvan or maybe Jace will be behind because Jace was missing. And here we see that Bull move into position. He's going to steal the blue buff instantly right there, and the Olaf just takes it right there. Mid tower taken down, top tower taken down, now it's left the bottom tower and waiting for the Dragon to respawn. Dragon will respawn in 17 minutes and 15 seconds as well. Everything is just like HQ controlling and dominating the entire game. So you can see as you were mentioning, is the League of Warmogs. Warmogs being bought on Alice, and based on the itemization of Olaf, it's going to be a Warmogs first as well. And
It sure looks as if it is going to that sort of direction, unless he goes to compete Spirit of the Ancient Gold.
I mean, he doesn't really need Spear of the Ancient Golem so quickly, so to speak.
I mean, that
this
is true,
item.
but
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that Katarina went for Haunting Skies and then went for a Hexac Revolver. I do know for the fact that she's a little bit behind in terms of kills and overall experience compared to Twisted Fate. She should have gone, I don't know, for something else. Better shoes, I would say.
I mean, she needs to sort of sustain the fights right now, slightly, so to speak, staying alive, because she wants to make sure she gets resets. Overall, Jace is not doing a lot of damage for them. Jarvan is not doing a lot of damage.
Damage, period.
I mean, there is still damage,
The only
definitely.
damage
But the
coming
problem is
out
the
of him is
Warmogs.
the Doran's Blade.
Yeah, you have the EQ combo, you have the percentage health damage combo from your melee mode as well, so that's why it's going to be still good. But the problem is that there's Warmogs
good
1,
enough.
second Warmog coming out soon, most probably from Olaf. Let's just take a look. And here we see they're going to dive onto the
Right,
fights.
trying to make something happen. We do see the Destiny being able to turn out. Does come down onto Apathy. Wow, look at that turnaround. Now we're going to go into Katarina. The vision is still there. The Sun card come out. The Sun card does land. The Cocoon lands at maximum distance. Lil Panda immediately shambles away onto Ezreal. Good job there. The Sun card once again lands, trying to make something happen. Pride just barely gets knocked up there. So I would say amazing job coming from AHQ. Look at that amount of turnaround, immediately repelling at the first glance of
Not to say the first glance, but she just waited for them to use all her spells, especially when Katarina did her ultimate, she just repelled away. No damage being
and
done.
then when Twisted Fate came down, immediately landing onto Jarvan. So that was a very well timed there.
So you can see, well, Warmogs right there, so tanky. Jarvan dived in, did damage, ignite, the combination from Katarina just taking price down to like quarter health. There's no damage being dealt out, so to speak. Look at that, just tanking tower hits, it's like, oh.
Oh, it's a tower.
That's a
It's
tower.
okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's perfectly fine. The tower does not move. He can only shoot some weird wobbly things out of its crystal, but that's perfectly fine.
Vomiting coming out with crystal.
Well, how would you describe the attack from the tower?
It's a laser beam, don't you know?
Oh, it's not a laser beam. It comes out in a bobble shape, doesn't it?
Okay, that's-
It's like a meteor star or something. Of
Okay,
that
enough
sort.
of that, enough of that. Anyway,
But
back into
look-
the game.
okay.
A team fight is definitely going to happen.
Maybe not. What do you think MLE needs to do to come back into this? I don't think so. There's much, to be very honest.
It's actually okay. If you do a race calculation wise in terms of money, buying a Warmogs and buying a Black Cleaver, the one who buys the Warmog has an advantage.
Yes,
Especially if your
you know
overall
that.
toolkit works well with you being tanky and you can cast your abilities and you can just totally decimate your opponents. We've seen that coming off from Alice is one of the top picks for that. Even for Olaf, he's just waiting to go back to base. Let's see how much gold he has on hand. He has already done 1,900. Definitely if he goes back, it's going to be a Warmogs as well, being built up. And so much money onto the side of AHQ being built up, taking down the dragons. Taking down the dragon. Well, the second dragon is about to be spawned out, so this is why I was trying to say taking on the dragons, but as well as getting the objectives here. HQ always having PMOds on their hand. So there's this things that call HQ strategies go for League of PMOds, but here see Jarvan trying to go in for the steal onto dragon, but it's going to be futile. Look at Catalysm going down on the RT being exhausted, but the overall damage output coming for the team is not there, and all the one kill goes on to Olaf as well, at least just charging in, taking down the kill onto Katarina. He's charging on to Capuccio right there as Jace, and what can he do? Nothing. Look at the post coming from Price, doing so much damage, the stun lands, just waiting for cooldowns to happen, and then just diving into positions, but at the same time, while Ezreal was being chased by Severus ultimate together with Tyric, just taking him down so easily. There is no problems at all. So this is going to be exciting in terms of, you saw the team fight overall, no significant damage was being done. Even though Jarvan landed the Cataclysm, there was a fallout from poke from Katarina, the exhaust was down onto Twisted Fate, but you know, Alice is just such a dominant force overall, and just staying in the fights, just doing her percentage of damage with abilities, taking down people down, picking champions down one by one, and we can see Olaf back into base with an Warmogs, at the same time another Giant's Belt. That's really what you need, just Warmogs and health. Right now, if you're a champion that can stack health, you have a good early game. You actually will have a very good early game, which is why a lot of people. If you've noticed, if you follow Double's fan page, Double, which is the AD carry for CLG, wow, was that a Smite steal? Oh, nope, it did not. Oh, it wasn't a steal. It did not happen. Javan took it in the end, but the spike did go on for the side of Olaf, but Javan still was managed able to take it back. So, if you have read Double Leaf post, a recent post, they posted about how the pre-season 3 meta is currently. It's like a Warmox is 2,655 gold. A Bloodthirster is 3,000 gold. And you need to wait for the get maximum stacks to do 100 damage each hit onto your total hits. So Warmox gives you 1,000 health. So after you fully stack your Bloodthirster, you need to land at least like maybe 5 to 7 hits onto a champion with Warmox before you chip down the health that comes from Warmox. And Warmox is 445 gold, much more cheaper, easier to get. So much health. Look at the health bar onto Alice, just stacking up so easy. As the AP champion as well, she has 2,800 health, not only coming from the Warmox, but also coming from the Kinder Gem, as well as the Doran Shield that she bought. So just totally dominating and tanking everything for her team, while she does a lot of damage for abilities. As you can see, for Venomous Bite, doing percentage damage, as well as in the range form, also doing percentage damage, just taking down people so quickly. And Garena Devil is just going to tank this out. Look at the Ezreal ulti coming in. Look at the damage being dealt there. There was totally no damage at all. And Ezreal does have a Bloodthirster, and it is almost fully stacked. That is why health, Warmox as well, just buying giant belts, puts you so far ahead, as it's a very cheap item. It only costs 1,000 gold. And you really need a lot of damage in order to counter react that, definitely. So here we can see the HQ after taking the Baron buff, and it was slightly contested, but there was nothing much MLE could do to dive in to secure it or get it. So that's why we can see that they are just going back to base, because they're going to buy up, and this might be the final push, or they want to make sure each lane is balanced, push in a balanced way, so to speak, where they're all pushing up, moving up at the same time, so that they'll be able to, when they push into the mid lane, they will be able to just break it easily if someone moves to the left or to the right area to defend. Here we see LBs, look at the damage coming from him, popping his ultimate, and the criticals going down with the Infinity Age plus Static Shift. And for those of you who do not really play AD carry, Static Shift Fox does 100 magic damage of electricity, but at the same time it does do critical strike as well, so you can raise it to 200. With IE it's 250. That's a max damage if the opponent has no magic resist at all. So here we do see Alice moving into the position, catching onto Zara right there. The class does go down. Look at she's diving tower. He's going in, repelling away, no problem at all. The flag toss combo missed right there, and you see Albis just with so much damage there. And the exhaust comes onto her. She does manage to heal away from it and flashes out in the same position, but she'll be able to take on Zara as well because the damage is so high. Here we do see Alice going to run in as well, just taking all the hits, taking tower hits for the team, no problem at all. Look at the damage going on to Alice. Where is that damage? It was non-existent at all onto Alice, just taking the hits as well as hitting herself out with her abilities and coming for the precision of a barrel. Look, she's just diving in, the cocoon going off, stunning someone else, Tariq stun, going to kill onto Katarina, but they have used the flash to be safe, and this will be the GG right there. There's nothing much that Katarina and Zara do at this point because they're not fat or they have not enough damage to do anything. And here we see, once again, Arti going in, taking the kill onto Zyra, and the cocoon actually landing onto Javan as he did his combination to dive in. And here we go. This is the GGWP for HQ, taking the win, securing.
Very, very decisively on top of that as well. I mean, it is a 16-3. I think the combination of the bottom lane decimated Manila Eagles. In the top lane, they won as well. The only sort of chance they had was the mid lane. Javan, I wouldn't, only maybe did about 75% of his actual job. The ganks weren't all that great. A few of them were very successful, especially with Katarina teleporting in.
But there was no significant advantage coming from that. Like if you want a champion to come and teleport to come in, it's to secure a kill and a tower objective. But she always got one kill.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was only one kill, not even both kills at the bottom, and then they did not even convert that into a tower as well. So that didn't really work out to Manila Eagles. So it looks like Manila Eagles is now right at the bottom of the...
Sad to speak. So we're going to go look into the score screen to see the so-called decisive difference for this game. And for the side of Severe and Twisted Fate, they're really reaching 10k, at least almost reaching 10k as well. But overall, you can see from the itemization, let's see. Javan trying to go tanky because at least as well as Twisted Fate does do a lot of AP damage. So going to go for Runi Bovak over... as well as he has the Mercury Threads, not going for Warmox instantly, as we were mentioning, become very tanky. But you see, he was buying all these items, but he did not survive the teamfight as much or as Olaf or At least, definitely one thing.
Yeah, I mean the Warmogs played a huge factor there, but I would say a good attempt, but like Eagles, I do think that it did not actually work up all that well for them simply because I think AHQ was more aware of what's actually like the best and most cost-effective items. I do believe if that Jarvan had initially gone for a
Earlier
Warmogs
Warmog, so to speak.
like straight away up there. Not even getting Mercury threats, it would have been gone perfectly fine. He in fact opted to go for Eagles of the Legion, which did not go all that well.
Yes, it's actually very expensive, so to speak, right now. I mean, it is a very good item. The overall stats it grants with the upgrade from the Runic Bovak is good, but still, it's very expensive in terms of it doesn't grant yourself that much benefit, especially in the team fights. If your team has not enough damage or tankiness, it's not gonna fare off so well for you. And you can see this is what we're talking about from the League of Black Cleavers switching to not only just to say a League of Warmogs, but actually the League of Giant Belts, because Giant Belts right now just cost 1k gold.
Yeah.
And it just gives you so much because people will go for penetration right now for brutalizer, for black cleaver, for last whispers. With the warmogs, it just negates that. So right now we're just gonna